Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the national final of Australia's Funniest Boomer! Brought to you by Starts at 60 and featuring Fred Lang as our headliner. Please bring on your MC, Terry Hansen. Bring him on now! Hey! It's not for me, really. It's not for me. We're going to get ourselves really warmed up for a big night. You ready for a big night? Yeah! Well, you're good, and you're synchronised, which is nice as well. I'm Terry Hansen, big-time act for those thinking of clapping later on. You're busy drinking, mate, I understand that. On the comedy circuit now, making a breezy $4,000 to $5,000 a year. Top gig this. Good to get involved in. Okay, it doesn't affect my pension. Like many of our comedians tonight, I do have grey hair. I'm not worried by that. The only time I feel old was a little while ago. I went and bought a beer after 7 o'clock and I got a notification from my bank for suspicious activity. But I'm here, I'm up. That's the main thing. Of course, the great thing about being a comedian with grey hair, if anyone does heckle you, that is now officially elder abuse. So do what you want to. I'm not doing many jokes, you'll be happy to know. I am your MC for tonight. That's an industry term for I have no act. I'm just that rapt to be down here finding Australia's funniest boomer. This is just going to be amazing. Give us a shout out if you're here to cheer for someone in particular tonight. Yes, you are. I love it. I love it how boomers have so many friends who'll spend money to come in because we can. It's good to have you. By the way, what is a boomer? A boomer comedian is just a comedian who bought a house. Young people crying over there. Sorry. Sorry about the world, sorry about the environment, sorry about everything. It's not a sign of my age that I actually get given notes tonight. That's more so I actually get it right, ladies and gentlemen. We have 10 finalists from across the country coming here tonight. I think, anticipation is good. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, that's right, the all travel concession. These guys have been around, coming out of all the different states and to get down here to the final tonight. And basically, here's what's going to happen. Here's how it's going to go down. We've got, each of our comedians will get 5 minutes. Already 5 minutes. Wish I could still do. Anyway, that's all right, didn't mean to say that. The sound is really good and to fix up what I'm thinking. But we have 3 judges, ladies and gentlemen, from the Sit Down Comedy Club, Miranda Chrissy, from Cheeky Moon, Alistair Craig, and Carmel Peniziano. Give him a round of applause, please. Penicano. It's all right. And so they'll be judging through tonight. They're looking for originality. It might have been original when we first started telling it, but other people copied us later on. But we were there first, okay? It's pretty interesting. I thought about this the other day. I hope it's interesting. Is that when you think about this group of comedians here tonight, and our headline, my very fabulous friend Fred Lang as well, we were the people who were starting out right when new wave comedy started. So 40 years ago this year, I started down at the Sydney Comedy Store. It was a very different environment down then. The Sydney Comedy Store used to put an ad in the paper which said, "Pit your wits against Sydney's finest comics." No one checked for wits at the door, as it turned out. It's pretty wild. There are 2 sorts of wits, some who could get in half price, and I'm not allowed to say fuck, so I won't tell you about the other ones. I'd say that then because there can be a bit of language here tonight. We'll tell you that right up front. So if anyone is offended by that little bit of language, you get the chance to fuck off early. All right? Which is not to say you can say just anything. You get in a lot of trouble for what you say in stand-up these days. I did a corporate night for a fast food chain I can't name. And during the night, I got a bit headstrong. Some clown down the back of the bench with no girlfriends rang her, just giving me grief. And I might have implied that men that manage stores had small penises. I didn't want to say little dick because it was corporate. You know what I'm saying, mate? I'm not an idiot. And I actually got in so much trouble, I received a McLetter. Or a McPackage with some fries I didn't ask for, and it states here categorically that all McManagers' penises are in fact regular size. My apologies. For a while there, for $1 they could be king size, and that was good as well. All right. So what will we do? We're going down 5 acts in the first half, doing 5 minutes each. Okay, then we'll give a little break to have a drink or something like that. I'd smoke if anyone likes to smoke. Tough, certainly, due to government regulations. I think you can still smoke just outside Tweed Heads. There'll be a shuttle bus. I hate to say that to this crowd, but if you are a smoker, good for you, champion, for making it this far. There's a smoking area up 4 flights of steep stairs. So if you want to smoke, good night and probably goodbye. If I've offended any vapors by that, I don't care. It's hard to get upset with people who smell like strawberry shortcake. All right? So that's for smokers. If you like to drink, oh my God, keep drinking, buddy. The more you drink, the funnier I'll eventually get. And if the good Lord didn't want you to drink, he wouldn't have given you 2 kidneys after all. Hey, that was good. In Kerry Packer's case, 3, and that worked for a while as well. As I say, we're going to rip through these guys. We're going to give them all their time. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time chatting to you. Just need to get a couple of things. Oh, mobile phones, please. Mobile phones, fine for photography, not for videoing. But the iPhones, iPods, iPads, I paid too much, and now there's a new one with a different adapter. I don't know how to make it work. All those switched off. Pacemakers left on. This will be exciting stuff, all right? And I think the last thing is I just need to make sure you're working in that beautiful synchronised way as a team by going sort of building blocks of spontaneous applause, because the bigger the greeting you give the acts when they come on stage, the more the confidence, the more they're ready to go. So don't worry about this. I'm a fully qualified sound technician. I've been to TAFE. There's basically 2 things you need to know to be a good sound technician. 1, 2, that's pretty much it. It's not a long course, all right? But we will start tuning this audience up. Let's start with the building blocks. Let's start with some applause. Clapping. Let's go clapping. It's a roller coaster. The table over here is on the hands there. Whoa, up we go. Keep doing that. That's fantastic. All right. We got the wooing. The wooing going. Don't mind the wooing. Let's hear a few woos. Woo. All together is a bit frightening. That's okay. Let's keep it on a random pattern. That's pretty good. If you don't feel like wooing right now, that's fine, sir. Don't worry about that. It's a state-of-the-art comedy room. If we need you to woo, we have electronic devices in the bottom of your seat. We just hit the red button. Whoa, up you go. It's great. But the pain goes away in a couple of days. The scarring is quite permanent. All right. And we got the clapping and the wooing. The last one, you might need to take your teeth out to put your fingers in to do this one. That's not an age reference. I'm talking about whistling. If you got a really good whistle, get ready to let it go after 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Yeah! Okay. It's like kettle boiled, balloon coming down. And here in the hearing impaired section, that was fantastic, wasn't it? Whoa, you missed the whole show now. All right, that's all we need to do, all right? Each and every one. We're all here for someone tonight, but we're also all here for everyone. And to give them the best possible chance on stage, I'll make sure I get this absolutely right. No, it's not the dementia. Wait, I'm just folding over here. Nice piece of paper. It's a bit like origami. I want to get, yeah, all right. I like this guy. Wow, that's a good pedigree. He's coming up from Melbourne, in Victoria, ladies and gentlemen, home of the Melbourne Comedy Festival. Recent graduate of the Hard Knocks Comedy School, love that name. He's all full of quirky observations and has quickly gained recognition. You're going to love him. He's a great way to start a show. Clapping, wooing, whistling. Andy Payne. Bring on Andy.
Good evening, good evening. You've been practicing, I can tell. It's great to be here. My time of life, it's great to be anywhere. Yep, times are tough. This week, I've had 3 doctor's appointments, 2 visits to the chiropractor, an MRI and a brain scan. But I have walked 150,000 steps. Mostly in the hospital car park, trying to find my car. But hey, that's the way it is. My doctor said to me, if I want to live any longer, I need to give up smoking and drinking and eating fried food. So I did what she said, all right? I think she's absolutely right, because every day feels like a lifetime. But anyway, I want to tell you all about me. You see, my wife died recently. No, it's true. But the thing about that is I'm now living on my own. When I say on my own, I think dust has moved in. But the best thing about living on your own is you don't need to put anything away at any time at all. In fact, I don't think I've closed a drawer or a cupboard door in months. If I get nostalgic for married life. I just make myself restack the dishwasher a couple of times a week. But hey, that's the way that things go. My wife said to me just before she went, she said, Andy, she said, when I'm gone, you're going to have to do one of two things. She said, you're going to have to learn how to clean the loos yourself, or you're going to have to get remarried. So I've joined Tinder. I don't think I really understand how it works. I didn't get many responses at first. And then a friend explained to me that you're supposed to put a picture of a dog on your profile. I don't have a dog. So I tried a picture of me shitting on the living room carpet. It didn't seem to improve anything. I thought, though, that what I need is I need a woman who's financially sound, you know, someone who's got a full Centrelink pension. But then I understand that's not what they mean by friends with benefits. When I did finally get a date, she wanted to meet in a crowded bar. And I thought, well, how's she going to recognize me? So I carried a red flag. And then when she turned up, she didn't look a bit like her photograph. In fact, I think she'd had work done, you know, Botox, that sort of thing. It was quite a fun evening, but only one of us could keep a straight face. When it came to the end of the evening, we had that awkward conversation about sex. And she said that she was into role play, you know, doctors, patients, that sort of thing. So I took her home and left her in a waiting room for 3 hours. I wouldn't mind, but she stole one of my magazines. I bought myself a parrot so I'd have someone to talk to at home. But the parrot just wants to talk to other men. I think it's polyamorous. Starts at 60. What is it that starts at 60? I think it could be decay, dementia. I can't remember which. I think, though, it might be shoplifting. I'll tell you one thing before I go. I've joined the bridge club, all right? So the seniors bridge club. Although I have been suspended because I was shouting at people, calling them names, and touching the women inappropriately. The president said he thought I was behaving inappropriately, and I said, well, I'm just playing my trump card. Yes, indeed. Well, they say you have to live every day as if it's your last. So what I'm going to do when I get home is I'm going to put on a hospital gown, jump into bed, and attach an intravenous drip to my arm. I think that'll be fun. Okay, my watch is telling me that it's time that I stopped. It's also telling me that I have 59 friend requests on Tinder. And as we all know, the fun starts at 60. Thank you very much and good night. You've been wonderful. Hey!
Yeah, Andy Payne, ladies and gentlemen. What a great start. Great start to the show. He broke character at the end and put the microphone back. There we are. Wow, and how about that jacket? Wow, did you see that? Yeah, mate, look at that. Jacket like that, that's lightweight, colourful, and doubles as a contraceptive, I imagine. But there we are. It's that mixture of naughty but nice at the same time. He looked good. He looked good, didn't he? Yeah. Who am I? Fashion icon that I am. Great start to the show as we go along. All topics are covered. There's a bit political there at the same time. It was really, really good. We should just keep going. We'll just keep going. Is that what we'll do? All right, we've kicked off with Andy. Now we're going to Maryborough. Oh, yeah, exciting already. Someone clap for Maryborough. Good on you. Yay. Now, but this lady's not just worked up in Maryborough, ladies and gentlemen. Experience on Australia's Got Talent and all the way to the Sydney Opera House. Ooh, of anticipation? Yeah, clapping, wooing, whistling. Queenie Scott, bring on Queenie.
Good evening. Oh, the Boomer tribe. Oh. I was in my 40s when I had my children. So that means now I have a millennial daughter living the dream. But I've actually learned quite a lot from her because millennials know everything. And she recently said to me, and you know, with that flick of the hair thing that they do, Mum, you do know you are neurodivergent. Wait, what? In layman's terms, it means off-centre, not normal. Well, I was actually pretty chuffed that I had a label, because it's a thing these days, neurodivergent. I mean, Lucille Ball would have made something out of that. But I was just thinking about the absolute meaning behind that and all the labels that go with it. And what was really frightening to me was when it was mentioned about gender fluidity. Now, I was a bit scared about this because it was too close to home, because every morning when I look in the mirror and I pull out these long white hairs on my chin, I'm not so sure anymore. I read somewhere that you know you're getting old when everything either leaks or dries up. Oh, speaking of drying up, my husband's here tonight. Barry, can you put your hand up? Hey, give a round of applause for Barry. Barry knows nothing about neurodivergence. He's a musician. He plays the trumpet. That's it. He plays all day, all night. You should hear those top notes. It's murder on the high seas. And he thinks he's a pirate. It's really quite confronting being closer to 70 than 60. And I thought, I really need to go and have a checkup. So I went to the doctor and he said, "Oh, Queenie, you've got acute angina." Oh, thank you, doctor. Yours is pretty cute too. So I thought I'd better take Barry for a checkup also, because I've been a bit worried about him. And he went along and had his test results, and the doctor said to me, just on private, "Look, I'm really sorry, Queenie, but we've lost his results. We've got them mixed up with somebody else's. We don't know whether he's got Alzheimer's or COVID." I said, "What are we going to do, Doc?" He says, "Well, here's an idea. Take him for a long drive, leave him at some random place, push him out the car, leave him there. If he makes it home, don't let him in." Do I need to explain that? So we'd both been to the doctor, and I thought, well, look, it's time we really needed to look after ourselves. So I thought that I would start an exercise program, and it was fortuitous that just a couple of weeks ago on the television I saw the most fantastic exercise program for neurodivergence. I'm going to give it a go. Would you like to see it? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. Woo. Oh, thank you. Woo. I don't know if it's doing the body any good, but I've got the cleanest floors. Thank you very much. You've been a great audience. Thank you.
Hey! Queenie got, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Maryborough. Choreography by Ray Gunn. Fantastic. It is clean here. It's really delightful. Fantastic. And great bringing in lots of great topics like neurodivergence. I'm very much behind that sort of work because I was actually diagnosed AC/DC as a young kid, yeah. I was on a highway to hell of dirty deeds, done dirt cheap and occasional jailbreak. And I remember I went to the doctors and I was shaking at my knees. I remember I must have been about, I was in my school uniform, so I would have been about 40. And the doctors looked at me and said, "For those about to rock, we sedate you." And I felt much better ever since. There goes Queenie. Give another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Our next guest is from Adelaide, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to recognise him at first because that's the sort of guy he is. Hey, Adelaide, let's go. That's a $2 million investment in petrol alone. I hope it's going to be worth it. Please make him very welcome. Reg Such, bring on Reg. Hey.
Thank you very much, Terry. He really has got a good face for radio. It's been a long time, but his parents tied a chop around his neck so the dog would play with him. Are we all having a good time so far? It's amazing. Boomers, we all seem to be talking about medical stuff. It's like my wife went to the doctors and she said, "Doctor," she said, "I've got one breast longer than the other." He said, "That's not abnormal. Let's have a look." And she undressed all slow and sexy. You remember, like she used to before you were married? And her breast hit the ground and he said, "How did you get it like that?" She said, "Frank sleeps with it in his mouth." And the doctor said, "Right." And she said, "We've got separate beds." It's funny, I said to the doctor myself, I said, "Doctor," I said, "do you remember me?" He said, "Yes, Frank." He says, "I gave you the tablets to make you big and strong." And I said, "Yes." And I said, "I can't get the lid off the bottle." It's amazing, isn't it? I said, "Everywhere I touch, it hurts. I touch my head, it hurts. I touch my leg, it hurts. I touch my shoulder, it hurts." He says, "You're an idiot." He said, "You've broken your finger." So it's really amazing how all of a sudden King Charles, he's coming out here to Australia. He's coming out for the Royal Easter show, and he's bringing his favourite horse, Camilla. She's an old hag, but somebody likes to ride her. William said to Charles, he says, "Dad," he said, "you're a king, you're in charge of a kingdom." He says, "I'm a prince. What am I?" He said, "You're in charge of a principality." He said, "Right." And Anthony Albanese was there and he said, "And what am I?" He said, "You're in charge of a country." Boom, boom. I all of a sudden have gone a little bit blank, but that's all right. We'll pick up with it. That's what happens when we get to 60, isn't it? Thank you very much, everybody. Good night.
Hey! Reg, ladies and gentlemen, give Reg a huge round of applause. Was it Reg? Was it Frank? Was it Frank? Was it Reg? I don't know. He just said on the way out, he doesn't either. Here you go. I just think explain laughter. This gentleman hasn't laughed at me yet. I'm not saying this guy here's got his arms folded in case his side split. I know because we've got laughter happening on a roster system. It's going quite well, and I'm not saying you're not a happy person. Look at that. You've got that lovely smile that Nave has described, and you've been to the mall with a gun. Laughter starts an area around here we call the diaphragm, and later like the big gut. You hear something funny or watch Andy try and pick up on that jacket, and the air will rush up with a ha sound, with a ha, unless you're Kiwi. That's ha. That's cultural. That's not, I'm kidding. There are no Kiwis here because there's a door charge. Hey, no, I shouldn't have gone down that path. Hands up, who's been to New Zealand? Who's been to New Zealand? Yeah. It's a beautiful place, isn't it? So beautiful, you wonder why more Kiwis don't live there. It's a lovely spot. I don't want to get involved in that, but besides, you don't pick on Kiwis, do you? They've got that reputation. They're big and they're tough and they're aggressive, and the men. So I'm not going to go down that path. I'm going to stay on side because it's funny now, but it's not so funny in the car park later on. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got to do a little bit of housekeeping because coming up next... Ooh. Gosh, you guys are easily pleased. I love it. Okay. Coming up next, we have a ventriloquist, but this man will tell you he is a family-friendly ventriloquist. Comes around Parramatta Way, okay, which is, I don't know if anyone knows Parramatta part of Sydney. It's sort of working class without the class and bugger all working. It's a lovely spot. He's made his way up here to safety and to do comedy with you. Please make him very, very welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Glenn Pearce. Bring him on!
Thank you. Good evening. Performing tonight for an intellectual audience such as yourselves, I'd like to prove that it's not always necessary for a ventriloquist to resort to the lower sort of expletives in order to get a laugh. What a load of bullshit. I beg your pardon? You heard me, Baldy? Baldy? Yeah, well... What did I say coming here tonight in the car? Hand me some more of those drugs. No, the other thing. I said, look, don't say anything about my hair because I'm really quite sensitive about it. He washed his hair last night and it's still in the dryer. You're an uncouth little person. And do you know what uncouth little people become? Prime Minister? No, please, don't laugh at that. That's totally insensitive. I mean, it's just attention-seeking behaviour. That's all it is. Tell the audience something about me. He just signed a deal with Sony, and if he keeps making the repayments, he can keep the TV. What are you, a comedian? I'm glad one of us is. Hey, that's a nice scent you're wearing. Oh, you like my scent? Yeah. Oh, well, my wife bought it for me. It's called An Evening in Paris. Yeah. That's a nice aftershave you've got on. Yeah. What's it called? A fortnight in Fortitude Valley. Well, we're not in Fortitude Valley, of course. We're in the sit-down comedy club. Do you know why we're here? Yeah, all the acts are too old to stand. All those old folks backstage. I thought it was a casting call for a Netta Newsall commercial. Please. I'm not saying the acts are old, but I'd seen some of you in the Nanza. Look, I think the acts are all quite hip. Not like hip replacement. Look, you can't say that. This is being filmed for a TV special. Antiques Roadshow? Look, you're making me look bad. You don't need my help for that. You're embarrassing me. You're a dummy. Look who's talking. It's you, isn't it? So you're a hypnotist, aren't you? No. A hypnotist puts people to sleep. I rest my case. No, I'm a ventriloquist, and ventriloquism, ventriloquism has really done great things for me. It's opened so many doors, mostly exits. People laugh when I said I was going to be a ventriloquist. Well, they're not laughing now. As a ventriloquist, I never really wanted to be rich and famous, and so far that's working out just fine. Look, you're a doll, I make you talk. You're a dill, I make you eat. If you're going to act like a child, I'll get you a doll and some games. Get me a doll and I'll think up my own games. This on your ventriloquism, Thorley. Well, no, it's not ventriloquism, it's ventriloquism if you say it properly. Well, that's your job, not mine. Yeah, well, I'm doing it now. When? What a loser. Yeah. Well, I think it's time now. We'd like to finish with a very nice poem. Yeah? Yeah, we'd like to finish with a poem. And would you like to take it away? Yeah? Yeah. What are you doing? Clearing your wrist. The boy sat on the burning deck, his pockets full of... No, not that one, the other one. Oh. It's great to be in Brizzy with all this comedy cheer, smiling faces everywhere, and no one insincere. There's Terry Hansen and others, 3 from any tolls, and a guy with no hair, playing with little dolls. So sit right back and relax, like you know you should, because when it's all said and done, I'm just a little guy made of wood. Oh. Kingsley, that's so touching. No touching. There's a court order. That's all the time we've got tonight, thank goodness. And if you enjoyed me, I was Glenn Pearce. If you didn't, he's Rolf Harris.
Glenn Pearce and Kingsley. I'll grab it. Yeah, Glenn Pearce. Yeah, please, round of applause for both Glenn and Kingsley. Fantastic. I'm loving it. Did I mention I'm loving it? You can probably hear it from here. But nonetheless, I should, in good conscience, Glenn was the first to mention drugs. You will hear a lot of talk about drugs from this lineup tonight, mainly pharmaceuticals. But we don't talk about illicit substances. We don't endorse that here at the Sit Down Comedy Club. Talk to you in the car park later. Prolonged exposure to marijuana will get you hooked, on reggae, and you won't wash your hair, and you put a tea cozy on your head, and that can't be good for your self-esteem. I myself took 20 no-dos just to do the opening bit, and now have an irresistible urge to drive a truck to Perth if anyone needs a lift. Okay, I believe what they say when they say no to the drugs, but if you're saying no to the drugs, they're already talking to you. So the moment's probably gone by. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what this lady's on. I think she's high on life, to tell you the truth. She's fantastic. I met her backstage. She said, it doesn't matter if you get anything wrong, I will correct you. And I reckon she will as well. All the way up from Coolangatta. Lots of work on the fringe festivals around the place. But here tonight, in her own persona, Swetlana Jankowiak. She'll correct me. Swetlana!
I'm very sorry. I've got a contract job here as a cleaner and I didn't get time to change for the comedy act. I need to say a number of things. First of all, in my bio, it said that I was professionally trained. I am not professionally trained. I also need to let you know that I don't do stand-up comedy. I am going to tell you my life story and what happens to me. First of all, if you go to Russia, genetically, all Russian women in my family have big hair to the moon. It's genetic. We all have this big hair. If you went to Russia, you'd understand it. Now, I grew up in a small Russian village called Stripchesk. The mountain areas are not funny because they were hill areas. My job is to be milking the cows. I am a simple rural girl, and my job, I have this affinity with the cows. You see, I put the shit on the cows, not like naughty cows, but when they are cold, I put them on. Now, I was the last hope for a virgin bride in the Nokia Blokov family. And so I have been looking for love. I so much want to have love luck. And some women have one night luck, and some have more than one love luck in more than one night. And some people, well, I say I have 2 night stands when people tease me, but they're each side of my bed. Now, looking for love, is very, very difficult. And some people say that beauty is like a passport. But I say it runs out very quickly. It's more like a visa. Yeah? It runs out quickly. And I heard last week something very clever. It said these are not wrinkles, they are wise cracks. Not bad, huh? I think that's pretty good. So I am looking for love, and I say that my prince is not coming on a horse, maybe a tortoise, because it's taking so long. And so what I try to do, this new way of meeting men, I got a hobby, and got into knitting, tipper-tapper, and I met some amazing men. And this is where I thought, the love of my life. I met Barry. Now, Barry had a lot of lines, apart from the fact that he was a fisherman. He was actually a plumber, and I really love practical men. He flew to Moscow to meet me, and I'll have to tell you, it was the most intense 23 hours, 57 minutes, and 22 seconds of my life. It was true love. But when it came to the fact that I was saving my treasure chest, because I had my honor to keep, and I've met some woman, she offered her honor, and he honored her offer, and then he was on her and offer all night. That is not me. I'm saving my treasure chest. So I did the tipper-tapper, I met the Barry, and he flew to me to Moscow. We had that intense time, and just when I wasn't prepared for him to put in or to put out for him, he said that his visa just disappeared. He had to go back to Australia quickly. But you know what? I knew that it was true love, because when he was leaving, he said, "Sweaty pie, save your rubles and come and see me sometime." Now, is that not an invitation for true love? So I got to Australia, and I was going to meet my Barry. Now, I met him here at the tipper-tapper. Where was he? He was at the Star Casino. Funny about that, they've both become dysfunctional recently, haven't they? But anyway, that's another story. So I met Barry at the Star Casino. I did a couple of multiple trips. The footpaths on the Gold Coast are not good, and I picked up the asphalt so nobody else could trip over. I go to the Star Casino, and there was Barry. Sveta, shout, your shout! I got to the bar, I did the right thing, and I said, "I'll have a beer for Barry, one for the road." Anyway, I got to Barry, and as I got closer, oh my God, I dry reach very easily. Do you know that smell? A combination of beer, red wine, cigarettes, cigars, and a bit of beef jerky. No, it's not for me. I realized that Barry was not the one for me. He had not been waiting for me, for all this saving, for my dreams, for my true love. It just wasn't going to work out. Hit it, Ilansky. Hit it, Ilansky. Hit it, Ilansky. Can I hear a voice? Oh, that was a very big. Wasn't the one that...
Is she still going out with him?
Well, there she is. Let's ask her.
Sveta, is that Barry's ring you're wearing?
Must be great going out with him.
Yeah. Is he getting you permanent visa today? By the way, where'd you meet him?
I met him on the internet. He flew to love it. You get the picture?
Duh, we see it.
That's when I fell for Barry with the crack. His shorts were always slipping down, down, down. He said that was how good plumbers were found.
What you mean as how good plumbers are found?
And he told me I should swoon over his hairy moon. That's when I dumped him, Barry with the crack. I knew then that he and I were through. Maybe it's time to find somebody new.
Of course you need to find somebody new.
He turned and asked me why. I shrugged and said goodbye. I'm sorry, I fell for Barry with the crack. Barry with the crack, now he's gone. Barry with the crack, now he's gone. Barry with the crack, now he's gone. Barry with the crack, You know what I realized? That relationships could be a lot like garage sales. They look interesting from a distance, but as you get closer, it's a ton of shit you don't know. But спасибо from the heart of my bottom. Спасибо.
Swetlana, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what else happens tonight, we're all going to go home singing Barry with a crack, aren't we? It's going to happen. What's that again? We should just do this every week, shouldn't we? Yeah, okay, fine. That's all right. That's all right. Look, guys, you're going really, really well. Your energy's been great. In just a moment, we'll be able to give you a drink. It's going to be fine. We've got one more act to go before half time. Don't leave your best work here. We practiced the laughter there, the gentleman there. That was okay. So he's ready. The clapping's ready. We're good to go. One more act as we go through. Now, this guy... right from the word go, ladies and gentlemen, he said, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to wrap up the first half. I'm ready to go. That tough comedy spot. I said, this audience are completely behind you. All right? So you need to prove that to me. The clapping, with the wooing, with the whistling, and bring on Andy High. Bring on Andy.
Thank you, Terry. Hey, Brisbane, hello. It's lovely to be here. And thank you for having me. My mum said, make sure you say thank you for having me. She brought me up like that, you know. She always used to say, too, what are you doing in the bathroom, Andy? You'll go blind. If 14-year-old me had had a Fitbit, I'd have 10,000 steps done before I got out of bed, I tell you. Bless his little heart, little Andy. Quick show of hands, who is an actual boomer in the room? I can't see your hands. Give me a woo. Actual boomers. Did you know you were a boomer before this show came along? It's not a terminology we use, is it? You know? I had to actually Google what a boomer was, and I only just fit in. I thought, I can't go on this show and cheat, you know? And because you get those little reminders that you're not quite as young as you used to be, you know? And boomer is one of those. People call you a boomer. I'm going, I'm not a boomer. That's an old people's term, you know. But no, I'm a boomer. And I live in a small town in Sussex Inlet on the south coast of New South Wales. Bit of a retirement town. Anyone heard of that? You have, yeah. Well, it's a bit of an ageing population, Sussex Inlet. The only people making money in Sussex Inlet, the mobility scooter salesman and the funeral directors. It's a lovely spot. But you do keep getting these little reminders that you're not as young as you used to be. I was crossing the street only the other day, right, on my way to the supermarket. Crossing the street, waiting to cross the street, one car coming down the street, and he stops, gives it one of these. One. Thinking, in fact, this must be a little old lady here somewhere loaded up with a Zimmer frame full of shopping bags or whatever. No, he's fucking pointing at me. Like, oh, I'll show you, mate. So I'm off across the road, Hussein Bolt. I'm giving it one. Oh, the knee's gone. I'm like, you know, you're waving and you're like, oh, hang on, I'll be right. Thank God they had them benches outside the supermarket that the old people sit on. You know what I mean? I sat down there, I was buggered. Tied to the end was this little Chihuahua yap dog, bloody rescue dog, because there's tons of them in our town because someone's died and left them behind. It stopped yapping for the first time in its life. It's looking at me, puffed out on the bench. It's going, are you all right, mate? I said, I'm fine. Looking at the dog, you know. Next minute, my phone goes, get a text from my son. You all right, Dad? Yeah, I'm fine. Where is he? Yeah, I'm fine, son. No worries. Where is he? He said, I heard you'd had a fall. Had a fall. That's not the word I want to... No, I'm not ready for that, having a fall. And you don't realise when you live in a retirement town, that is bad news. If you've had a fall, right, 3 of them, you're in the nursing home. The kids have got your house on the market. They got your name down. You're gone. 3 strikes and you're out. Said, I haven't had a fucking fall. Jesus. He heard about it. Someone had videoed it, put it on Facebook. My daughter's in the UK. She's seen it. Sent a message to me. All by the time I've got across the road, the message has gone round from back to the UK, back to here. My son's message. Dad's had a fall. I haven't had a fucking fall. I just tripped over, for Christ's sake. I had my niece come to stay with me from the UK, right? Lovely girl, haven't seen her for a few years, in her 30s. She said, well, you are quite sprightly for your age, Andy. It's sprightly! I'm not sprightly. That is not... I don't want to hear the word sprightly in a sentence describing me. Like, remember in lockdown, old Captain Tom, with his Zimmer frame and all his medals, and he's shuffling around outside his nursing home, and he's like 177 years old or whatever he was, doing 100 miles a day for charity. That's sprightly, not fucking me. Having falls and sprightly. Jesus. I tell you, I know what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to invent. So anyone follow the motorbike racing? The modern MotoGP, them modern leathers, right, them motorcycle racers wear, they have airbags in them. They have a crash, boom, the airbag goes off. They're like the Michelin Man, aren't they? I'm thinking, right, I'm going to invent a dressing gown with airbags in it. I'll be able to stay in my own home. I'll be wearing my dressing gown all day, fall over, boom, the fucking dressing gown will blow. I'll be like the Michelin Man on the kitchen floor, won't I? But I'll be fine. I'll probably die rolling around trying to reach up to put the kettle on, but never mind. At least I'll die in my own home, that's what I reckon. Ah, bless my little cotton socks. It is lovely to be here. I'll tell you a bit more about Sussex Inlet, right? It's a funny place, it's full of caravan parks, right? Sussex Inlet, packed with caravan parks. My mate lives in a caravan, right? Every weekend, the caravan next door to him, right? Because they've got them all packed in. You can hear everything that's going on in the caravan next door, right? The caravan next door to him, there's a lady comes down. Now, every weekend, she's got a different fella with her, right? Spends the whole weekend rooting. You can hear everything because it's right there. It's right next door. She's like the van's creaking. You go for afternoon tea at my mate's caravan and you can hear everything that's going on in the van next door. It's creaking and rocking and carrying on. Turns out, she's one of them OnlyFans models. You heard of them, right? On the OnlyFans. She streams live from that caravan in Sussex Inlet every weekend. Thousands of followers all around the world. She's going to kill my mate when she finds that camera. That's enough from me. Thank you very much for having me.
Hi, all the way from Sussex Inlet, ladies and gentlemen. Give a big round of applause. Okay. In just a moment, we'll take a 5-minute break, about 10 minutes, have 15 minutes for the drinks. You're back in 20. Little phrase from a jazz band. But there's lots of great stuff from Starts at 60 there on your table to read as well. It is so nice. We're only going to take about a 10-minute break, but it is so nice to be able to explain people, put out a piece of paper and say mailing list and not have to explain what a mailbox is to anyone under 20, how it's that little house down on your fence, and you know that sad little wiggle can only afford a motorbike goes past his little yellow boat, and he puts stuff in there and explain they should go and look in the mailbox because there's $5 in a card from Grandma. But during the break, if you would like to fill out our mailing list as well, you just name, mobile, birthday, because what's stalking without detail, and your email as well. It's pretty effective, I tell you. Already tonight, 2 people have hit the jackpot. One's inherited money from Nigeria, and the other one has a lovely lady coming from Russia. I know Svetlana's here to marry him. Please, a huge round of applause for all our acts in the first half. Give it up, come on. We'll be back with 4 more, and our feature act, Fred, straight after this. See you in about 10. Almost made it back in time. Get on your buddy. Welcome back. Take a seat. That's fine. Having a chat. That's right. Get the drinks right. It's good. Fanning. A little warm. All right. Yeah. Okay. It'll be okay. I clapped for myself when I came out. It's not that I'm up myself a little bit. You probably noticed that by now, but just the heat air conditioning thing. I don't know. Is it cold? Was it hotter the other day? No matter how much rum I drink, I can't keep my hands warm any time. It's terrible, isn't it? I was speaking to this lady earlier. I've already forgotten your name. I'm sorry, down the front. Your name was Christina. Tina for short. We don't have time for full names, you're right, mate. And Tina, you were saying you're from whereabouts, mate? Not street address. I can follow you. Whereabouts is Tina from? Oh, sorry, that's a bit heavy question for Tinder. But Tina, whereabouts? You were saying you're from I beg your pardon, not Kedron. Upper Kedron. Huzzah. It's further out. It's further out. It's further out. It's in the bushland. Everyone wants to turn it into houses. You did. But Upper Kedron, the koala sanctuary. Good on you. No, Upper Kedron, lovely. It is. No, it's a beautiful spot. It is. And Tina explained to me in Upper Kedron, when the girls' hands get a bit cold, they know just what to do when the wind whips down there through the gap, so to speak. When that happens, all they do to keep their hands warm, they stick their hands between their legs for a couple of secs. They come up warm as toast. And I tried that and she hit me, and I apologise. I didn't understand the local custom. My apologies. But I would like to thank you, because now I've got really warm hands and a very cold dick, which will be my excuse during the nude part of my act for the ladies with the good seats down the front. How good's that? Before we go into the second half, we haven't even started. I don't want to hold us up too long, but I've got this lovely piece of paper. Lovely piece of paper from Swetlana. Ian and Libby Schultz, are you here tonight? There they are. They're being, hello, celebrating your 4th wedding anniversary today, is that right? Yeah, give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. But Ian, I'll ask you a question, because, well, mind you, you're married, so you can't speak for yourself, but I'll just... So, Ian, let's be bold, let's be bold. But does Swetlana actually married you guys, is that correct? Yes. Yeah, whereabouts was that? Kangaroo Point. Kangaroo Point, just on the cliffs. Say I do, buddy, say I do, or over you go. That's how it is, on Kangaroo Point. Yeah. But it's Libby. Hello, Libby. How you going? But it was during COVID, is that right? Wow, what a beautiful meeting of like 2 people. Did you have when you've done the vows, do you say, yeah, I do? Did you touch of elbows, things like that? Or did you have a kiss? Did you have a kiss? Yeah, well, you would, wouldn't you? Because you get 2 weeks free accommodation, don't you, for your honeymoon? It's fantastic. All paid for by the government. Nice move, you two. Well done, well done. But you do bring the point to us here tonight. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to have him here. But second half, as we get to the second half, you know, we need a lot of love coming towards this stage. We'll put a little disclaimer out. I've noticed a lot of women in the room, and one bloke again, who's, I'm not going to mention again, who's looking at my wedding ring with some pretty considerable indifference. But no, I was married. I had the beautiful traditional arranged Australian wedding. Don't know if anyone else went that way, the arranged Australian wedding, where the girl is technically what we like to call, you know, pregnant, and, and the father's arranging to shoot you, which is not to say there wasn't romance, okay? She used to call me a hopeless romantic, or a lousy root, imagine read between the lines, and... but no, it's over. It's over for me. It's over for me. I came home the other day to discover that my wife she'd had a sex change. How are you going? You're right? No, thanks for the support. Appreciate it. She changed to having sex with someone else, and yeah, horrific moment for me. I came home and I found them in the kangaroo position where you jump over your best mate and hop on his wife. And thanks, AFL fans. Good on you. There we go. Horrific for me. I'd never do that. I want you to know I'd never do that. I would never do that. I couldn't. If a beautiful woman came up to me after the show, try it. There's a laugh. There's a contraceptive right there. No, if a beautiful woman came up to me after the show and said, I'm going to make wild, passionate love to you, and you don't have to tell anyone, I'd say, no, not a chance. Not a chance. No way. It's not happening. If I made wild, passionate love to you, I'd be telling everyone. So I'm just not made for it, really. Okay, so the love's going to come from you guys. I'm here alone, okay, and vulnerable, all right, and available, and, you know, wealthy, whatever that means. Struggling through life now with what, you know, a Porsche and a big dick, and just really not... That was hopeless, wasn't it? Why would I say that? Why would I say that? It's obvious to everyone in this room. I don't own a Porsche. I don't. I got a stand-up comics car, beautiful 2006 Ford Falcon Rust Bucket, get you from A to A minus. You can walk on a B. I got a go-kart. It's a top car, mate. All right, it's a top car. And I'll tell you, I'm never worried. Whenever I've got a dump, parked. Well, the RACQ know, because I've had the whole car decked out with anti-theft appearance, which is where the criminal looks at your car and says, I'm not doing time for that, and just moves on to a Porsche. So I'm sorry, yes, I've got that shitty car, quite a big dick. And my ex-wife heard I was telling jokes about having a big dick, and she rang me up and she said, ha, in your dreams. I rang her back and said, ha, how would you know? You're not even in those dreams. Which is the healing thing you can say. when you're out there in the world tonight looking for who knows what. I think a root still is a technical term. Not that I'd say looking for a root, because guys say they're looking for a root. Not only don't get one, but have got that long drive back to Beenleigh in the ute. No, don't use that phrase. Great phrase I heard down the Gold Coast. Root, no way. I'm looking for casual sex. Fantastic. Look at that. Got its own dance. Casual sex. I don't know why they call it casual sex, because I've never worked so fucking hard on anything in my life, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about overtime for a part-time position as far as I'm concerned. All right. So can the love come from you guys for the second half as well, yeah? All right. Well, get the clapping, get the wooing, get the whistling going together, and gives this lady a huge, huge welcome. I'm so excited to see her. She looks $1 million. Funny as. Make her very welcome. Raelyn Flatters, bring her on. Hey.
That's a good start. Well, g'day. My name's Raelyn, and I'm a mum and I'm a grandmother, and I've been married for nearly 56 years. I didn't intend to be married this long. I just stuck around the last 25 years to brass him off. In my latter years, I've occasionally gone out for that adrenaline rush. For my 60th, I jumped out of a perfectly good aeroplane. For my 70th, I did iFly. And more recently, I took my 3 grandkids to Luna Park, and we all went on the Big Dipper and the Wild Tango train. Now that was a rush. And here I am tonight with you without notes. I know I'm old. At 77, when I go online and I have to scroll forever to get to my birth year. And I can remember when vaping was a good chest rub with Vicks. These days, I'm always being told I should eat healthy foods. Well, I say forget about health foods. I'm at an age where I need all the preservatives I can get. I knew I'd do this. I knew I'd lose track. Anyway, as I said, I have been married a long time, and so a lot of people come up to me and they say, what's the secret to a long and happy marriage? Well, I can tell you the secret to a long one: children. That's the reason my husband and I are still together. The kids. Neither of us wanted custody. My youngest son at 10 was the sweetest child on the planet. One night at dinner, he looked across at me and he said, Mum, when I grow up, I want to marry someone just like you. Then, out the corner of my eye, I saw my husband going. But it's amazing how quickly things change. There he was, 10, and all of a sudden, he was 18 and he'd copped an attitude. We'd been fighting all day, and he came up to me and he said, well, why did you have me then? Well, we didn't know it was going to be you. We were hoping for someone with a job. But he's all grown up now and he's settled. And I went over there the other day and I asked, could I borrow a newspaper? Newspaper, he said. This is the 21st century. We don't waste money on newspapers. Here, use my iPad. Well, I can tell you, that fly never knew what hit him. But with all this new technology, sometimes I struggle. I managed to send my husband a text. Windows frozen, won't open. He texted back, pour lukewarm water around the edges and tap with a hammer. Now my laptop is completely buggered. But you know what really drives me crazy? Is when I can't use my iPad and my tech support guy is asleep because he's 7 and it's past his bedtime. These days I'm always being told that I should start to get fitter. So I was reading the paper the other day that when you open a bottle of wine, you use 15 different muscles. Now, fitness is my passion. And I went and joined the local seniors and I went to an aerobics class. Well, I pushed, I pulled, I gyrated, I jumped up and down, perspired for an hour. But by the time I got me leotards on, the class was over. But to be totally honest, these days I'm just thrilled when I can get my legs through my underwear without losing my balance. Time goes on. Anyway, I told you that I was a grandmother, but I haven't got any jokes about that. They live with us, and it's not funny. But my next door neighbour, she was telling me a little story about when her grandson came to visit a few years ago. And they were upstairs watching TV, and he said, "Grandma, how come you haven't got a boyfriend now that Granddad's in heaven?" She said, "Honey, the TV is my boyfriend. Makes me laugh, makes me cry, keeps me company." It was one of those old box TVs, you know, and it sometimes lost focus, which it started to do. So she went over and she started banging it on the top, as we did. Yes. Yeah, as we did. Next thing, they hear the doorbell ring downstairs. So the grandson runs down to see who's at the door. Well, he opens the door and here's the local priest. And he says, "Ah, hi, son." He said, "Is your grandmother home?" He said, "Yes, she's upstairs banging a boyfriend." Then my old mate Bob, he was telling me that his granddaughter said to him the other day, "Hey, Pa, can you croak like a frog?" And he said, "Yeah, sure, but why do you want to know?" "Well, Nan said when you croak, we can all go to Disneyland." Well, you've really got to love them, haven't you? Well, thank you for being part of my rush today without notes. Oh, and you enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you.
Raelyn Flatters, yeah! Oh! We're not going in slow. It's going to get hotter and hotter as we go here this evening. This next guy and I, as I say, way back, the early days in the Comedy Store, back when I lived in Sydney, back in those days, we were both on the circuit back then. He's back and forth between Japan, touring all sorts of places, seriously in trouble with the law. So it's great to see he's on the straight and narrow, back on the stand-up. Let's keep the clapping, the wooing, the whistling, all together, ladies and gentlemen. Bring on Gareth Macready. Come on, Gareth.
There's nothing else to do. Oh, it's in colour. Your hair is brown. Your eyes are hazel.
Would you please thank Terry for all the work he's been doing tonight? I was born and raised here in Brisbane. Grew up doing motorsport with my dad. I won my first race when I was really young. I beat all the other sperm to mum. In 1984, the Sydney Comedy Store telecast all of these comedians, and I was at uni and I went, "Oh, people just like me." So I dropped out of uni and I went... No, that's not right. I failed out of uni and I went to Sydney and I started trying to make money being funny. And it's hard when you start out. I had a real job for a while working in a demolition company. Not for long. They got upset when I got the address wrong. I worked at Central Station for a while. They let me say things on the loudspeaker system like, "Would the people taking the train from platform 17 please put it back?" And things like, "The train arriving on platforms 5, 6 and 7 is coming in sideways." Which I think personally was better than the things they were saying before I got there. Things like, chats would. While I was down there, I studied karate. I got a black belt, see? These hands are registered with the police. It's just the fingerprints, though. My instructor was Japanese. He introduced me to a Japanese girl, and he says, "She like you." I was like, this is new. She took seriously what I poked at her in fun, and we ended up with a bun in the oven. And I met her parents the day after we got married. I took them to meet mine. Mother-in-law sees the place and says, "Oh, Betty, big." I couldn't bear to tell her we were still in the elevator. After our second son, she wanted to run back home to Japan and I wanted to be here and work on my comedy career. But you know the next line, right? Happy wife, happy life. I go to Japan, I learn to juggle and do magic, and I put together a show. I go out and I do one, it gets a standing ovation. There were no chairs in the street where I did the show, so that was pretty ordinary actually. But that's how I made a living all the time I was in Japan. I lived there so long, all white folks look the same to me now. According to some people, that explains the headband. I watched a lot of sumo wrestling while I was there, thinking I'm not getting so fat. This is the body shape of an elite athlete. Give you a tip about Japanese food. Wasabi is nice with a little bit on some rice, but never dip a corn chip into wasabi thinking it's guacamole. Not a good idea. These chips are lovely. What's your name, sir? Correct. Well done. If I could give you some advice that would have been nice to have had when I was young, marry someone you communicate well with. Otherwise, your spouse will be someone you're going to hell with. We used to argue all the time because I didn't think it was fair that I had to be there. But the last argument, 2.5 decades I'm in Japan, the last argument we have, she says to me, "How come you always get what you want?" And I just walked away. And now I say, she never loved me, she just lusted after my body. By the way, whoever's on the timer switch, I'm still on 5 minutes. And if you start now, I'll keep going until it goes to 0, okay? Just so you know. I don't know why that's the case, but I'm amazed I can still see it. These are the ones for that distance. I don't need the other ones. Okay, that was unscripted. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was over here. Okay. I've been back for a while now, and what I learnt about my excursion to Japan is marriage originally meant to prevent guys getting girls pregnant before they'd agreed what to do with their seed. I learnt that one the hard way. Things have changed while I was away. Civil partnership became a thing. First time I heard that, I thought, wouldn't it be great if all marriages were civil partnerships? I've noticed that street signs stick out at me now. There's like a blind person's cross here. You seen that? I wanted to make a video of me just being really drunk, trying to get across the road. And then I thought, no, blind people wouldn't get to see that. So I just tell the joke. But when I realised after I started to tell the joke, no, I need someone to interpret for the deaf as well now. This inclusivity thing just keeps going. Oh, look, now it's at 4 minutes and 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. This is awesome. I've got a whole 4 minutes left. No, I won't do that. I'm nearly at the end of it. like I said about the signs, I went past the Windsor State School. It had a sign out the front. It said, "We say no to bullying." And underneath that, it had WSS. I soon realised that meant Windsor State School, but I drove past really fast and went, "We say no to bullying. Wuss." I drove down the coast and went past Coffs Harbour, and just before you get into Coffs Harbour, there's this big blue and white sign with a checkerboard border that says camouflage police vehicles patrol this area. I got a mental image of driving down the road, looking in the rearview mirror and seeing a big banana tree following me. I got down to Sydney and I hadn't been there for a long time. And in Woolloomooloo, there used to be this place called Harry's Cafe de Wheels. It was a pie van. And now it's a franchise. It's all over the place. I got out of the hotel, I just had breakfast, I walked down George Street and there's a Harry's Cafe de Wheels and I haven't had a pie with peas for years. I went in, I grabbed one and I'm walking down the street eating it and this homeless guy catches my eye. He says, "I haven't had a bite to eat in 3 days." I thought, geez, I wish I had your willpower. I suppose that's somewhere about 5. Yeah? That'll do you? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for being here. I mean that from the heart of my bottom. Don't clap on your own, lady. Somebody might throw you a fish. Thank you very much. Good night.
Gareth Macready, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I did actually, online they could have been paper, don't know what it was, the new Bond movie. They reckon they can't find a replacement for Daniel Craig. I'm a huge Bond fan. I've got his name on all my underpants. Bond XXL. Don't get excited, that's a circumference measurement. But I think it could be time, and I could ask this crowd who've been there with the Bonds over the years, is it time for a female Bond? Do you think that's a go? Do ladies, what, you don't want to see a female Bond? I know. What? Yeah, it's very different, isn't it? It can be very judgmental. Like James Bond can go out and sleep with 6 counteragents because he's a ladies' man. By the way, if you look for another contraceptive, just go around and call yourself a ladies' man, and that'll do it. And yeah, that's what he's like. But if Jane Blonde goes out and sleeps with 6 counteragents, it's like, whoa, who put the hoe back in 007? It's very 0055, oh my God, you know. And women can be very judgmental too, can't they? Say, oh my God, I can't believe she's wearing the same dress that she wore to kill the ambassador in Octopussy. Oh my God! But it wouldn't be called Octopussy. You'd have to have more empowered names, like Dr. Meat. Dr. I said no, Meaty 007. Good names like that. But the idea that they had for the female Bond was Charlize Theron, and I can tell you as a bloke, I'm right behind that idea. I would audition to be a villain in that movie, and Charlize Theron as Jane Blonde to 007 would just walk up to me and say, "Here's the deal. I'm going to make love to you to get the information, and then I'm going to kill you." And I would say, that's a fair deal. Which is why no one asked me. I don't know why I told you about that, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little shift of pace, and we've got a great shift of pace right now. Comedy comes in all forms. Let's get ready to go to the circus with Sparky the Clown. Yeah!
Comfy chair in there. Comfy chair in there. Comfy shoes as well. There's some niggling pains. Health stories to tell. Open wide. Wait, it's grey school. Oh, okay, 2 out of 10 for that. Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of Grey School. That is play school for the over 60s. My name is Sparky the Clown, and I'm your host for tonight's episode. Now, tonight we're talking about a very important topic. That topic is balance. Already been referenced tonight. Woohoo! Balance is super important for all ages, but especially for the over 60s. In maintaining an active lifestyle, preventing falls, been referenced already. According to Matthew Hart from Starts at 60 Good Health, recently, is Matthew in the room? Okay, there we go. Now, if your balance is a bit iffy, I'm going to show you a few simple exercises that you can do at home, and you will soon have perfect balance. Well, you'll be on the track anyway. Here we go. Repeat after me. Single leg lift. Side leg lift. Forward circles. Woohoo! There you go. Tree. Apparently. Crane. Crane. And for an Olympics vibe, kangaroo. Tame the cobra. Tame the cobra. And shoe grab. With attitude. With attitude. With attitude. Okay, now, the next part of our program is super exciting. We're going to go to the circus and we're going to see the importance of balance if you are a circus clown. Ready, please, Mr. Music. I'm Sparky the Clown, aka Sharon Start, Cranbourne in Victoria. Thank you so much.
Sparky the Clown, one more time, Sparky, ladies and gentlemen. Look at you, whoa, and there and off to the circus, that's great. Still got that energy getting right into the back here. We're going on for now, another 5 hours, won't be long now. Final performer this evening. If you feel like you haven't given enough, don't let this be the moment. Give that little extra bit you haven't had there before. I should have asked tonight, by the way, if any of the comics do talk to you, you guys have been responding really well, but don't feel it's picking. It's a very Aussie thing to pick. We get it when we're very young. I myself, one of 7 children, because my parents taught the Catholic Church really seriously, and we're always at each other. My sister's here tonight. My little sister would be at the table and saying things like, "Mum, why are my eyes green?" And my brother would say, "Get your head full of snot." Because the boys say that stuff, and she just say, "That'd be why yours are brown then." It's just a sharing thing, okay, as we go along. And I should ask, is anyone here not Aussie? Not that weird, are you from your Al-Qaeda, will you please move your bag kind of way, but from somewhere further away than Cranbourne, Victoria so far? Yeah, well, mate, half a hand up. There's an interpretive dance. Oh, you're the Kiwi, aren't you? You're the car park. Yeah, no, all good. Kia ora, cuzzy bro. Security. Okay, that's right. No, you're well. No, he's welcome. So we're down to our final act here tonight. This guy is not a great comic. Worked him around the Brisbane circuit many, many times. He's also got one of the best collections of stand-up comedy shirts, ladies and gentlemen. So jealous on both counts. So for the final time, for our final act, the clapping, the wooing, and the whistling, let's go and bring on Denzo!
Well, hey guys, thank you for coming along and supporting live comedy. Great to see everybody here. Great, and then no one fell asleep. That's good, isn't it? Woo-hoo. I love that. I'm happy to see that summer's coming back in. Anyone else love summer? Yes, my favourite season. Short skirts, low tops. My friends say I look a bit gay in them though. Got to go with how you're comfortable, haven't you? Definitely. But I'm happy to be here because I've just turned 72. Woo-hoo. I love that. And you know, if you're happy and you know it when you're 70 or over, that means your meds have kicked in. or it's the golden tops. Yeah, come on. This ponytail and this shirt, they both scream magic mushies, don't they? Hey, what do you reckon? Do you like them, mate? Yeah, come on. You love them. They're great stuff. But I told COVID to get stuffed. It was getting all the boomers, wasn't it? No, you guys did too. We said, no, stuff off COVID. We're not going to do it. Are there any millennials here tonight? Give me a yell. Yeah, millennials. The millennials and the boomers don't get on that well together. The millennials are harsh people. Yes, you are. You know what the millennials call COVID? They called it the boomer remover. I know. But they call us boomers. And we call them tenants. Stick it back in. Stick it back in. But I had some good news and some bad news through the week. And the bad news was, as happens sometimes when you get older, I took the wrong medication. The good news is that for the next 3 months, I'm covered against ticks, fleas and worms. So if I'm humping anyone's leg later tonight, please cut me some slack. Pat on the head, rub on the belly, whatever it takes. But has anybody got any of those little dogs? Have you got a friend who's got some of those little dogs that hump their friends' legs? Yeah? Has anybody got... it's okay. It's okay if it's a little dog. And the friends think it's hilarious if their dog's humping someone else's leg. Yeah? But it's okay if it's a little dog. You just kick them off and say, get off your mongrel. That's okay. But I visited a mate of mine like a few months ago, and of all dogs, he's got a Doberman. Yeah, crazy. And this Doberman got frisky. He's jumped up on me here, and he's starting to go for his life, and his head's up here. It's ridiculous. I said, get off your mongrel. And he just snarled and growled at me. I said, well, hurry up then. So we're going on long walks together now. We formed a nice little relationship. It's a win-win situation. He gets to go for a walk and get his rocks off, and at least one part of my body is getting a bit of action. Hey, at 72, you've got to take what you can get, believe me, especially when you're single. And it is tough. It is tough for me like that. I am single and I do the online dating. So now that I'm in my 70s, it's going to be a lot harder because a lot of ladies, what they say in their profile, they say they're looking for a long-term relationship. I know. What do you guys reckon? 6 months? You know, the way my mates are dropping off around me, like left, right and centre, I reckon that's about as far as I can look in advance. So I'm going to have to change my profile to looking for a short-term relationship and preferably someone with aged care experience. You got to look to the future, haven't you? You do. But you know, getting older is quite good because you get a lot of benefits, you get a lot of discounts and all that sort of thing from the governments and that. I live down on the coast there, and the local councils help you. They let you know the Tweed Council's great. I live at Turgan. They tell me what's going on around my area. Actually, I got a pamphlet in my letterbox just the other day. It said, "You can still have sex at 70." I only live in number 64. How good is that? I'm knocking on that door on the weekend. Pamphlet in hand. Hey. If you want to find how that works out, you're going to have to subscribe to my OnlyFans. We'll get that sorted out. But it is crazy, like everything changes when you get older. Like for myself, if I go out of an evening now, it's like quite crazy. The plumbing doesn't work too well when you get older, so I carry a spare pair of jocks with me, just in case. Yeah, look at this young bloke smiling over here now, yeah. You won't be smiling in 30 or 40 years' time when you're on a night out and you've shit yourself, mate, will you? You'll be going, no, Denzo was right. But it was totally different when I was in my 20s and I went out. I was like all the young studs. I used to carry a spare condom with me, just in case. Yeah, and I know what you're all thinking, and yes, still got the same one. I'm Denzo, you've been a great crowd. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey! Denzo, ladies and gentlemen, what a great way to wrap it up. Okay, all right. In the next little while, we've got a very, very special act coming out, and during that time, once again, our judges tonight, Miranda Krisky, Alistair Craig from the Cheeky Moon, Miranda from Sit Down Comedy Club, and Carmel Pedicano, who are up there, and it's going to be a tough decision for them to make. You can help them. Let's pretend that the louder you clap and cheer for the person you've enjoyed so far tonight, it's going to change their decision on who gets the whole of it. Because we're talking about originality, audience reaction, delivery, presentation, and content. Clapping, wooing, whistling, after three, all the line up. Send it upstairs, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. You're buggered, aren't you? Okay, all right. All right. While we do get those guys up here on stage, just a very, very great mate of mine, ladies and gentlemen. Like myself, he started back in the store down in Sydney back in the day, but he's gone on to all sorts of success, the bastard. And I said it out loud again. I can't believe it. Including six tours, working for our forces overseas as well. Very funny man, the perfect guy to be our headline act on this night. Please make him welcome the wonderful Fred Lang. Bring on Fred.
Oh, it's exciting to be here. They have done so well tonight. Good evening, welcome. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. You look fabulous. All the men in the room in love, raise your right hand. Oh. That's not love, mate, that's fear. It's an emotion, but not the one that should be dominating that relationship. I just sneak in as a boomer. I'm born in 64 and I turned 60 this year. And you wonder yourself, you go, what have you achieved in those 60 years? You know, and some have raised families and what have you. I've managed to have, in 60 years, 7 successful de facto relationships. And people go, how do you have 7 successful de factos? And I go, well, not one of them finished in a marriage. I'd call that a result. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. There are no children there either. We chose not to go down that path. I keep forgetting. That's what happened. You have any kids, Fred? Oh, fuck, forgot. Which made it uncomfortable. Good. That's gone over a treat. It has. I thought I'd come out here and talk to people who I'd like, who are my generation, and I'm normally a bit more brutal. I'm 60. You know what I do? What nobody did tonight was complain. That's all I do now. Literally, I complain. I'm going to start with the Bureau of Meteorology. How wrong can one department, government department, be? How many times can you get the weather wrong? Remember last summer it was going to be long, hot and dry? Yeah, no, it wasn't. Bureau of Meteorology is a government department that should be paid on performance. 40% chance of rain. You know how they come up with that? There's 10 of them in the office and the boss goes, who reckons it's going to rain tomorrow? 4 of them put their hands up. All right, I just. And who'd we have in Queensland? I'm originally from Sydney, but who'd you have in Queensland? Ray Wilkie, do you remember him? Did the weather on Channel 10 every night for 41 years. Wrong. Every night for 41 years and kept his job. If I ran into Ray Wilkie tonight and said, "G'day Ray, how you going?" and he said, "Fine," I wouldn't believe him. And let's be brutally honest, I'm a bit younger than some of you, but I don't like weather nerds. I don't like seeing weather nerds do the weather. And you know what I mean? The guy in the suit and the jacket and the university degree and access to millions of dollars worth of information getting the weather wrong. That just annoys me. Who can remember when the promo girl used to do the weather? That was fantastic. Tits and teeth, I used to call her. And you didn't care if she got it wrong, did you? You just went, "Oh, fuck, you've had a go, sweetheart. Well done. See you tomorrow night." Brought that back from the death. So I complain. One thing, our last comic talked about his dogs. I have no children. I have 2 golden retrievers, all right? And, it's almost 9 o'clock. Can I be brutally honest? At 60... At 9 o'clock, there are 3 things I'm doing, all right? 1, if I'm working, well, I'm on stage. But if I'm at home, I'm either in bed or on the couch falling asleep because I didn't bother getting up to go to bed, all right? But my life has changed. So with my dogs, I'm up at 5 a.m, 4:30, 5 a.m on a fairly regular basis, just walking the dogs out. And what is it about people walking on shared paths? They walk past, you go, "Morning." It's 5:30. "Morning." I know. No need to remind me, mate. Say good morning, but that'll be worthwhile. But just morning is just really annoying. Now, I have 2 dogs. I have an 11-year-old golden retriever. His name's Go Away. Which is a great name for a dog when you go for a walk. Go away! Come here. Come here, Go Away. Go, and people just go, "Who is the psycho?" with that poor confused golden retriever. And with all due respect to the parents and the grandparents in the room, and I say this as I say grandparents, I managed to, and we're in that generation, people, we lose friends. I lost a friend earlier this week, literally lost a friend, and it seems to happen as you're getting older. He didn't die, but we were discussing what we wanted to achieve by Christmas. And I said, "I'd like to make love to a 20-year-old woman." And he's arced up. And he's gone, "My granddaughter's 20. And I went, "Fuck, how convenient's that?" Some things men don't find very funny, apparently. Granddaughters is one of them. Quick audience survey. I'm a first-generation Australian. All those with parents or themselves not born in this country, just put your hands up. Give me a look. Be honest. Mate, we're a nation of mongrels. That's what we are. We are. And we need immigration in this country, but we need people. My parents are immigrants. My mother's a German immigrant who grew up in Germany during the Second World War, and my father was Hungarian. And how they came to this country, it's a story I will never tire of reiterating. My father came out with the 1956 Hungarian Olympic team, defected after the Olympics. Russia was on the verge of invading Hungary, but some things never change. He didn't want to live behind the Iron Curtain, he defected. My mother grew up in Germany after the Second World War, got sent to London. 1958, under what was called repatriation, they said you can go to America or Australia. She chose Australia. To this day, says she was in this country for 1 hour and knew she would live here for the rest of her life. Just adored the country. 1960, these 2 displaced East Europeans met, married, begged, borrowed and stole every penny they could find. In 1961, bought a property on the North Shore of Sydney for £8,000. Last year, valued $12.2 million. Sadly, my father died in a car accident when I was 14 years of age. My mother, 91, German by birth, lived through a war, still lives in the house that I was born in. Will not fucking die. Just. Holds onto life like a junkyard dog with a bone. I'll feed her ass, Nick. I'll push her down the stairs. All I ever get is, I live so well, Fred. You'll have to try harder than that. Please don't think I'm being mean to my mum. I am related to the funniest person I know. German and funny. Ooh, there's a quinella we could have done with at some stage in history, isn't there? There we go. Well, you know, you say your mum's funny. How funny? Earlier this year, she had to go on respite. Mum's got a mind like a steel trap. She's the brightest person I know. She's the sharpest tool in the shed. Body is shot to shit. All right, stroke, emphysema, poor circulation. She got a chest infection earlier this year and had to go into respite. And most of you know what respite is. You can go into a nursing home for up to 60 days, get your health back, move back home. It's a great initiative by federal and state governments to allow the elderly to recover and move back home. She's been sent to a nursing home in North Sydney, 300 permanent patients, varying levels of dementia, one of the more insidious diseases we get, right? And as I said, my mum's the sharpest tool in the shed. She's been there 2 days. I phoned her up. I said, how are you going, Mum? She goes, not bad. I said, what have you been doing? She goes, I've just been to the dining room. I said, what was that like? And she went, you know, not all the vegetables were on the plates. That's her, not me, all right? Can I have that sense of humour at 91? And I always say, like, Australians have this sense of humour. We share it with Kiwis, Poms and Islanders. We take the mickey. Different parts of the world have a different sense of humour. Germans, very much so. Europeans, very, very different. In the German language, you have a sense for humour as opposed to a sense of humour. Of implies that you're ready to have a laugh anytime. For implies that when it's appropriate, yes, we will laugh, all right? I'm 7 years of age when I realised my German mother had finally developed an Australian sense of humour. She's dragged me shopping to a place called Peterson's at Pymble. I have a twin brother and an older brother who are allowed to stay at home because they could be trusted. Black sheep, I'm dragged shopping. I'm not happy. I'm in the dairy aisle of Peterson's at Pymble and I thought, here's my chance to lodge a protest. Picked up a tub of yoghurt and smashed it on the ground. 1971. Mum's just gone, whack! Hit me over the back of the head. I've sprawled in the aisle. Out of nowhere appears little Miss I've got to get involved in shit that's got nothing whatsoever to do with me. Fronts my mother and goes, you can't hit your children in public. As opposed to it's safe to do it privately, apparently. Can't hit your children in public. And my mother's response proved to me that she finally understood our sense of humour. She came over, she picked me up, she dusted me off, and then she threw me at this woman and went, no, you seem to be the expert. You have that one, I have others at home, that's fine. Just mate, can we have a quick audience survey? All those hit by their parents growing up. All those whose parents used weapons. All those who laughed when the wooden spoon broke on their ass. Haven't we got some happy childhood memories there? I was 9, Mum went whack, whack, snap. I went and she went fucking stab, right? Who got hit with a belt? Who had to pick the belt? How wrong's that? It's gone from physical to psychological. My father in his broken English, he'd go against the belt! I'm going to belt you. And to instil a sense of irony in a man I absolutely adored, I'd pick a belt that I'd bought for him. And there you go, Dad, Father's Day, 1974. Let your conscience be your guide, eh? And I need to make this very clear. My twin got hit 4 times in his life. My older brother got hit 7 times in his life. I could beat that combined on a weekly average, all right? I was that one in the family. Every now and then I got belted for shit I didn't do, and I didn't care because there was a truckload of stuff I'd managed to get away with, and I thought, fuck, that's just one out of the karma kitty. That's how that works. Right. And I grew up in this wonderful, wonderful country, not being able to speak English when I went to school. Everything we spoke at home was German. German friends, Hungarian friends, everybody spoke German at home. I'm 5 years old. And I come home from school crying. And Mum goes, was ist los? What's wrong? I said, oh, sie sprechen nur English. They only speak English. Born in this country, could not speak English the first day at school. As a kid, you have a dexterity for languages. By Thursday, fluent. 40 years later, I'm having a fight with that battle axe. Dad's long dead. I'm getting slaughtered on points in this argument, and I need to win. And it's time to finally play the trump card. In the middle of this argument, I just stopped and said, while we're at it, what were you thinking? Living in an English-speaking country, teaching your children nothing but German, and then sending them to school. And it stopped her in her tracks. She went to the kitchen, she made a cup of tea, and she sat me down. She looked me in the eye and she said, you know, Fred, your father and I, we laughed about that for years. Please don't think I'm being mean to that battle axe. All right. Look, you've had a great night of comedy. I don't want to hold you up. I know the judges who have got through. It's lovely to give you a taste. I could stay out here and start to talk to you people for hours now because we live on the same planet. I stopped doing club comedy because people under 40 are there. You two are an exception. You're the youngest people in this room by, 6 decades. Fair dinkum, the two. How did you come? Did you know it was a boom as a comedy night? Or you did, and you still came because you like old people or you want to fucking rob them. What do you want to do, huh? I could stay. To all those who are on tonight, whether you win or not, you did comedy tonight live, and sometimes that is the hardest thing you can do. I'll let Terry come back on. Thank you very, very much. I'm Fred Lang.
Fabulous Fred Lang, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. I love that spanking stuff, and all you're going, yeah, we can say it here tonight. We're okay. We're in friendly fire. Okay, we're getting down to that magic moment. I think before we get there, I know it's a tough job, and it has been a tough job. Everyone always says that, except that it's been a tough job. So please, once again, from Sit Down Comedy Club, Miranda, from Cheeky Moon Alistair and Carmel Panicchiano, please give our judges a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And there's no thing I can say that delights me more than to tell you it's not my decision. Hooray! Okay, originality, audience reaction, delivery, presentation and content. And will you please make very welcome a fantastic lady who's been here, making sure everyone's okay, making sure they're ready to get up here on stage and feeling welcome from Starts at 60 to tell us who these winners are. Please welcome Wendy Harsh. Bring on Wendy.
Wow, thank you, Terry. I think everyone should put their hands together for Terry tonight. He is, I don't know about you, but my jaw's been aching from laughing so much. So thank you so much, Terry. And Fred, I can't believe that the audience is not triggered by all that we all just went, yeah, I used to get belted. So thank you for that trip down memory lane. That was awesome. But apart from thanking those two, I'd love to thank the Sit Down Comedy Club. I think everyone would agree it's been an absolutely fabulous night and it's run so smoothly thanks to them. So yay. I'd also just like to do a quick shout out to my team. There's a heap of them here tonight. They've worked really, really hard on this whole event. And I don't know whether you would agree, but I think we should make it an annual event. Awesome. So, but most of all, I think I just really want to thank the contestants. You know, some of those finalists have never stood on a stage like this with lights like this and in front of a live audience. And as Raelyn said, without notes. So a huge thank you, guys. It was so amazing this week when we rocked up to the hotel, and I was like, oh my God, I recognise them all. It was just so nice to see them all in person, because we've been putting this together for over a year now. So it's just been so fantastic. But we have a runner-up to announce and we have a winner to announce. So thank you to the judges. We really appreciate. I think we've got Alistair from Cheeky Moon handing me the secret details. Okay, maybe you can. The winner is winning a mini suite, no less, on a P&O cruise. It's a comedy cruise in April 2025, so that's pretty exciting. But I do believe that there will be a runner-up name in here as well, so we'll have a look at that first.
They're working on the cruise.
Yes, they're going to be they're cleaning rooms, I think. A special mention goes to Denzo. So well done, Denzo. We have a small gift for you from P&O. So we'll find you later. But the winner of Australia's Funniest Boomer 2024 is Raelyn Flatters. Congratulations, Raelyn. You need to come around this way. Round this way. Oh, where's she going? Round this way. Someone grab her and point her in the right direction. It's that dementia thing. Come on, this way. Yeah. Everybody just like crowd surfing. Just guide her. That's it. Yeah. You know, Raelyn was so nervous, and didn't she do amazing? Just to recap, Raelyn is not only Australia's Funniest Boomer 2024, but she has won a mini suite on the comedy cruise in April 2025. Congratulations!
Wow! And it holds 2 long necks.
Oh, where's the photographer? Oh, there, look. There's the photographer. Okay, Terry, over to you.
Over to me.
Right.
Congratulations, Raelyn.
I think we're going to have the finalists up on stage for a group photo if we can.
Yeah. Oh, Raelyn's going to say a few words. Here comes some gags. Wonderful. Down here, up there. No, I'm really good at this. Don't worry.
No, I just want to thank Wendy especially. She's put so much into this over the last 12 months. And we really appreciate your efforts. Now, I'm 77 years old, and I only do my golf club presentations once a year. And in the last 2 years, I joined a seniors, and I do the concert once a year. So this was the first time that I've ever done anything without notes. It was bloody petrifying. But just saying, because we're the boomers, the reason that I did this is I've got the 3 most gorgeous grandkids in the world, and I just want to let them know that you're never too old to get up there, have a laugh at yourself, and have a bit of fun in life. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Congratulations. Raelyn, stay on stage. Wendy, stay on stage. Can we get all of our contestants up here on stage tonight, please, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to do a big group photo. If you want to get up close and get those photos happening, now's going to be your moment. There's some outfits here. This is going to be a beauty. When you put them all together, something's gone seriously wrong. Or seriously right. Okay. No, we have experts here. Now, if you're tall, you've been in the back row your entire life. Sparky, I don't think you've been in the back row of a photo ever.
Never.
Come forward there. Who's there? Queenie's there. Come on through. Swetlana, you do as you want to. More room down this end. Frank. Glenn. Denzo. We're good? That way, buddy.
I've got to go that way.
Face that way. Yay!
They've all got cameras.
I have no idea where we're looking. The finest, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, there's the real guy. There's the real guy.
Maybe an oil painting next time.
Wait. Denzo. A proper photo.
Right. Those 75 photos can be downloaded from the website over a 2-hour period with good broadband. Give a clap them off, ladies and gentlemen. They are all our finalists. Australia's funniest boomer has been decided. Raelyn is our winner. She's off to probably win the Gong Show on our next cruise as well. As we do head out tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading out this way. The show is never over till everybody's home safely. A couple of young ladies sitting over there. I'm so concerned you make it home safely. I'm personally going to follow you. Did I say that out loud again, Tina? I'm so rude. I know, but you've got an escort. And for the rest of you, you've got a lot to drink tonight. Had a lot to drink tonight, got a set of car keys. Remember what a dangerous combination it is. If anyone has that combination, someone run the big Kiwi off the road before he gets me. Otherwise, we'll see you at the Set Down Comedy Club again. Heading out this way. Thanks, guys, for being a great crowd. Bye-bye.